Hello world and good morning. This might be a little bit longer video than normal, so depending on the amount of data I have, I might make 2 videos, but for now we're just using one. In this video we're going over some new features in Dronelink. As everybody will understand, it's my favorite flight app at the moment. And the features we have now is what we call the restricted area. So you can see it as you have your flight off zone and there is a tree, or you have a very nasty neighbor and you want to prevent that your drone is flying over his property or the tree or an antenna or anything you want where you don't want to pass. So now we have a feature where you can identify that area and the drone will just pass it by. It works remarkable, I've checked it, and it works very, very good. Another feature is that we have the possibility that in a flight you can stop the drone, do something else and continue. So let's say you're flying a mission and you are flying with a camera of, you're flying with a drone with an independent camera like the Phantom series or the Inspire series. So you can fly and the drone will stop, it goes in pause. At that time you can do with the drone what you want, so you can rotate your camera, for example, and let's say you want to film a train passing by or a bridge going open, and after that is done you can just resume your mission and you continue. I have tried it yesterday quickly, but there was too much wind, so I have to redo that, but basically it works fine. And another feature, and that is on my request, is that you have now the possibility of making an orbit and of course also a corkscrew, but you can identify your point of interest. So you're not looking either to the base point in the center of the orbit, or let's say flat out in the normal horizon path level, but you just can say, okay, I want to do a half curve and I want to aim at the statue 300 meters or 400 meters away from that statue. So that works fine, I checked it, that all works. So in this video we go over all those features. I will show you from the beginning, to start with a clean sheet, how to make the program. We will start with creating a mission from a clean sheet. We are programming just from my garden. We will bring the drone to a certain height, we will fly, we put in a pause, we will put in a restricted zone. I will show you all how that works and we will fly on from there. We take an orbit, we take a curve, we take another restriction zone, and that works fine. There is one thing I have to tell you about the restriction zones so far. They only work in the approach, which of course makes sense, because when you do your mission you know what you want to fly and you don't want to interrupt in restriction zones. So it is just when you are, let's say, at the parking place and you want to go to a certain area to start your mission, in that area you have your restriction zone. When I will program it and you will see it on the screen, it is it's all becoming very clear. Alright, so let's dig into it. We're going to start programming and we're going to do it step by step. And of course, I hope you learned something. If you like, then of course give me the thumbs up, and even better, subscribe to my channel. Alright, let's get programming. Okay, let's get into it. So, we take our location. All right, so of course we start with a new plan. So this is just, it's a new feature tutorial. It's a Dronelink flight mode. Next. Okay, here we have restrictions. A specific area, no, we have no takeoff restrictions. Sometimes it can be necessary if you have a venue where you are very limited with people, whatever, but in normal circumstances, there's none. Okay, action on finished, return to home. This is always good. Okay. Then the maximum speed. I usually fly at 12 kilometers per hour. It's just something I do, especially with mapping. Low speed will give better results. So I just keep it. But it's also important to remember this one because it comes back later. All right, next. We can have already a destination. So if you want to do that, we'll take the destination. Select the destination here. Everyone take off. Okay, we'll just take this to 30 meters. So now you can see altitude is 30 meters, references the takeoff, and the speed is 12 kilometers per hour. Finish. Okay, so this is where I am. So we're gonna zoom out a little bit. We're gonna fly straight line from my house. So this will be our destination. This is where we are. Now, one of the great new features in this program is the restriction zone. So we go make a restriction zone. You right click anywhere in your screen, new restriction zone. Okay, our restriction zone is here. So then we have it, we call this TV must. This is just for references. Okay, we'll take a polygon. The minimum altitude is 0 meters. Maximum altitude, we take this 45 meters. So we are absolutely sure that we are good. Okay, done. So let's make this into a nice polygon circle. Polygon. And so. Okay, you can see now the purple line is going around it. So that is exactly what we want. So we say versions, new version. I always do that on a very regular basis. So if something goes wrong, because I usually make very complex flights, then we always have the latest version. Okay, now let's see what's happening. So we go to view. I got a red box. That is this box. So if we fly, so we go to height. You can follow here. So now you will see completely automatically he will go around the object. That is exactly what we want. It's flying back. So this is all going very well. It's coming back to his course a little bit. And we continue to our point. So that worked perfectly. One thing why I said remember the 12 kilometers per hour. Okay, so we have our restriction zone. We double click. So here we see we have the T-mast, the TV mast. It's a polygon and the altitude is from 0 ground level to 45 meters. But I want to be very precise. So I say here, no, I want to fly around this only at 10 kilometers per hour. So basically that means if we look to it, so we fly. So you see the head speed. So if I fly, you see I come around 12 kilometers and it's reducing speed. Till I'm around the building. So we're flying very cautiously around the restriction zone. And when I'm past, we go back to 12 kilometers per hour, exactly what we want. Okay, so this works. Now we go for the next one. So we say a new component, and I'll take a path. Okay. So we take the path. I delete number B. So we go here. I have waypoints, Bravo. We will delete. Okay, so this is all approach. And now we're gonna start the path. So that works fine. Now I want to take a picture of this one. So I want to have my drone paused here. And that is the new feature we have. So I have new component, disengage. So we'll call this the first stop. And we call this the photo moment. Take a pic. So we have info, warning, danger of an error. Well, in my case, it's just info. I just want to stop and take a picture. So, done. Then we take another small path to here. We can delete, of course, again the second one. Waypoints. We delete this one. So we fly. And here we're gonna do the last feature. So we go back. We put a new component and we put a orbit. So we put the orbit here. So we take them from the same location, which is fine for me. Now we're gonna play a little bit with the orbit. So the altitude remains, of course, 30 meters. And we take a radius of also 30 meters. This one we leave because now you can see we can also have a different radius at the end. We take this 180. Now you will see it gives you a very nice, strange curve. We don't want that, so we leave this out. We take the radius of 30, but it's going the wrong way because I want to have it that way. So we go here to counterclockwise, and you see we will have a nice half curve. What I actually want is I want to film this and not this point. So I say a new point of interest. Now I get the option. I want to have this in the orbit. I have here one, so I put this one on this one, and basically I should be ready. So new version. And we go back. Now let's see what is happening here. So you see it's flying. And it's focusing nicely. So that all works very nice. The only thing I want to change is this. So we take this one, we put it here on top like this. So it's gonna be a little bit more nice, a little bit here, so we have no strange movements. Okay, the only thing else I want to show you is, let's imagine here is a tree which is very narrow from the bottom but big at the top. So we're gonna make a new restriction zone. We're gonna put this one a little bit over here. And we're gonna make a new tree. So restriction zone is a tree. Stem. Done. We put this one over here and we make this very small. Zip. The minimum altitude is 0 and the ground level is 15 meters. Cruising speed is 10 around it. So, but it's not touching, so we're gonna put another one, a restriction zone. I put it on top of here, like this. So, we have now a restriction zone 2 stacked to each other. So, the stem and the crown, we can call this the crown. Tree, crown. And a circle, so this should all work. Okay, make my version. New version. Okay, and now let's see how it looks like. So here you can see the stem and the crown. So that looks really nice. Okay, the only thing we haven't done is you can see the circle. So we'll close this one. We go to the orbit. Altitude of the orbit is 30 meters. So we say final altitude and we make that 45 meters. So we are completely legal. So now we should have our final. Which is easy to check. And you can see our approach is 45 and the end is, our approach is 30 and the end is 45. So basically we're good. All right, then I think we should be ready to fly. And then we'll see if this all works good. This is a really good feature that you can pre-fly your missions. Voila. Altitude 30. And now we're going to rise half circle. We keep focusing here on the building as we said. So we're good. Okay. Nice. So save it. One thing is, you might have noticed, we have the first stop. First stop is between the path 1 and path 2. It doesn't work in the web app, but it works on flight, which you will see in a moment. So, all right, let's see if we can fly it. I hope the wind is getting a little bit down and we're gonna do it. So, I would say let's go outside and fly something. First, we load the flight plan.
Three, 2, 1. Starting mission.
You can clearly see the 2 restriction zones. We will enter them nicely. Entering the first one. Now starting on the second one. Starting the path mission.
Mission stopped.
The drone is stopped, so now I can do other things, like taking a picture as we said we would do.
Three, two, one. Starting mission.
After pressing the start button, we continue our mission. The purple line is the drift we had because of the wind, so we first go back to the old point, and then we will resume the mission as normal. Here we start flying the orbit. As you can see, our point of interest is different from the center point of the orbit, but Dronelink handles this without any problem.
Mission accomplished.